So all the cards from Duskmourn have finally been revealed. On Scryfall, you can go and click from the front page, you can click full preview, Commander full preview, and special guests. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the legendaries that I think look very interesting. And at the end, I'm going to talk a little bit extra about my favorite one of them. I'll also be showing a deck that I have already brewed on Archideck with that as the commander. So that link will also be in the description. Before the video starts, if you want to buy Duskmourn stuff, or if you want to buy any Magic the Gathering related, D&D related, Funko Pops, or whatever, you could go to Magic Madhouse through my affiliate link in the description. It doesn't cost anything extra, but it gives me a little bit of kickback and shows them that I am worth being an affiliate, and it helps the channel. So first up is a card I think look very interesting. It's not exactly how I wish the card was, but the art is adorable. It's Toby Beastie Befriender. It's a mono white legendary human wizard. It's a 1/1. When Toby enters, create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone. As long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying, which is really cool. Like in a white deck, you could do a lot of tokens anyways, and there's so much synergy for tokens, so I think this probably would be a card you put in the 99 more than have as the commander, but still a really good card. Next up is a Boral Commander for just 1 red, 1 white, a 1/3 legendary artifact creature toy, and it's a little bit of an Annabelle reference. It's Arabella, Abandoned Doll. Whenever she attacks, it deals X damage to each opponent and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 2 or less. And in Boros, that's going to be a lot of creatures because you have so many, again, token engines in these colors. That would help you a lot. And this is also just an uncommon, by the way, so getting this is not going to be super difficult. It's currently pre-ordering for just $1, so I mean, this is definitely worth a pickup, I think. Next up is a really cool card. It's Meathook Massacre 2. So a reference to some horror movies there, which is the theme of Duskmourn after all. XX and 4 black, you can cast this legendary enchantment. Whenever Meathook Massacre 2 enters, each player sacrifices X creatures. Whenever a creature you control dies, you may pay 3 life. If you do, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it, which is insane. But then there's even more. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, they may pay 3 life. If they don't, return that card under your control with a finality counter on it, which is, it has Turgid in it. It has so much other annoyance shit in it that this card is going to be a nightmare to play against. You would put this in a Turgid deck. It's just perfect to go with it. It's a legendary enchantment, so you can have it as a commander, but this is already pre-ordering for about $30, so I think this is gonna stay around that price too, because this is absolutely insane. And next up is actually a commander from one of the precons. It's the big bad of all of Duskmourn. So this is the demon that made Duskmourn what it is in the lore. It's Valgavoth, Harrower of Souls. Is a Rakdos commander for 2 and Rakdos. You can play this legendary Elder Demon, which is pretty scary. The art looks very AI. A lot of the art in this set looks very AI to me. I'm not gonna claim that it is, but it does look very cliche AI art. Looks like proxies you'll see on Instagram in a way. Anyways, this creature has flying, ward, pay 2 life, and whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each of their turn, put a +1 counter on Valgavoth, and you get to draw a card as well, of course. So this is Rakdos counters and card draw engine in one as your commander, which is insane. And it's also just a 4 CMC 4/4 with flying. Amazing. And to have this in the precon is really cool. The precon power levels are just, they just keep rising, which is kind of good, but also they should be a little bit more beginner friendly, I think, to play against. But and then I cannot not mention the Jolly Balloon Man, which the normal artwork with the normal frame is some of the most creepy art in the whole set, I think, with him just blowing up heads. It's 1 colorless and Boros to play this legendary human clown. With haste, you pay 1 and you tap him to create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control, except it's a 1/1 red balloon creature token in addition to its other colors and types. And it has flying and haste, and you sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. That's a bummer, but I've already played against this once. We were 2 other people using CEDH decks, and a friend of ours just brewed something on Architect and proxied this as the commander, and they went infinite really quickly using a bunch of other stuff that also creates clones. So this is an insane card, I think, and it's also super creepy. And then at the end, we have my favorite creature from this entire set. This is the creature that got me hyped about this set, because I didn't think this was going to be anything this set at all. But with this, I am definitely going to be hunting for this in some packs or something. It's Marvin Mimic, which is a colorless legendary toy for 2 CMC, so with a Soul Ring you can get this out. Marvin Mimic has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. So in Commander, that's gonna be every activated ability you have. If this is your commander, there is so much stuff you can do. The combo that got me really excited about having this as the commander was a infinite mana combo that's just so weird, and the cards to do it are so cheap compared to other infinite mana combos out there. Not necessarily CMC, but price-wise. These are cards that don't really see a lot of play, but because of this, they're probably gonna see more play. It's Palladium Mirror. It's a artifact creature that has basically a soul ring in it. You tap it for 2 colorless, and then Pili Pala, which is an artifact creature scarecrow that has pay 2 and untap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So you tap your commander to make 2 colorless, and then you pay the 2 colorless to untap to make 1 mana, and then you just do that infinitely, and then you have infinite mana. And then at the end of that, you then cast a Walking Ballista for a bazillion, meaning that you could just remove the +1 counters from Walking Ballista to deal infinite damage as you want. Really cool. And then in colorless, you do already have a bunch of other combos. There are like the Aetherflux Reservoir combo, where you have Foundry Inspector, which makes artifact spell cost 1 less, and then you have Sensei's Divining Top and Aetherflux Reservoir, where you just keep doing Sensei's Divining Top for free, meaning that you keep casting spells over and over, while you have Aetherflux Reservoir until you have so much life that you can just pay the life to kill everyone on the table as you wish. In colorless though, there is not that much interaction, like the direct interaction really. We have Null Elemental Blast now from Modern Horizons 3, which is great, but we also do have stuff like Wandering Archaic, which you can cast as a creature, and it says whenever an opponent casts an instant or a sorcery spell, that they may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that copy. So at least you have some way of using someone else's counterspell back at that counterspell, for example. There's also the One Ring, which is stupidly expensive, but it is there to give you protection. There is also a lot of ramp because of all the mana rock. You have the new Cola Vending Machine loop, which will allow you to get infinite treasures, tap treasures, clues, and food, allowing you to get infinite card draw if you want. There are also some stacks pieces that you could get, like Silent Arbiter, which would help you a lot, I think. Scenic Chronicler, which would help. Every time a player casts their first multicolored spell each turn, each other player draws a card, which will help you again. You don't really get the Rhystic Studies, you don't get the Mystic Remoras, you don't get the new Bloomburrow one, the Frog, you don't really get that either. You don't get Esper Sentinel because this is a colorless deck. However, not too long ago, a colorless Eldrazi deck won a CEDH tournament, which is insane. I think this as a casual deck would be so much fun. There's so many strong artifact creatures. You could have Chief of the Foundry to give everything +1 if they're artifact creatures. You would even have a couple of Planeswalkers to help you. This isn't going to be a tier 1 CEDH deck. It's probably gonna stay around like a level 9, maybe level 8, 7 power level deck, and I think it's just so much fun. It's so unique. I've never seen anything like this really, so for me this is definitely my favorite legendary creature from the set. If there's any really cool thing I have missed or something that should go in this deck, without a question, let me know in the comments, because I would love to read what you guys think. The deck list will be in the description, remember, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!